6:43 p.m. Eastern Time, April 6, 2026. The crew has been awake since early morning. For 6 hours, they have watched the moon change. At the start of the day, it was a disk, the familiar pale coin you see from your bedroom window. Now it fills the entire window, gray and ancient and enormous, textured in a way no photograph from Earth has ever captured. They've been talking to Mission Control in Houston continuously, but in 60 seconds, that voice goes quiet. At 6:44 p.m., Orion crosses behind the moon. The signal doesn't cut out with a warning. There's no countdown, no final dramatic exchange. Mission Control says its last words. The crew confirms. And then, the line closes, and all that's left is the hum of Orion's life support systems. 4 people breathing. Outside the window, the moon's far side scrolling past at 2,000 miles per hour. No antenna on Earth can reach them. The moon is between the crew and every other human being alive. For the next 40 minutes, no one on the ground knows exactly what is happening inside that capsule. 5 days ago, April 1st, Artemis II launched with 4 astronauts on board. Commander Reed Wiseman, pilot Victor Glover, mission specialist Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen of the Canadian Space Agency, the first non-American to fly on a crewed lunar mission. They have been living in Orion, a capsule roughly the size of an SUV. Everything they need to survive this 10-day-long mission is inside it. This is the first crewed mission beyond low Earth orbit since Apollo 17 in December 1972. And at 1:57 this afternoon, the crew broke a record that had stood since 1970. The human distance record set by Apollo 13. They are further from Earth right now than any other human in history. It is now 3 p.m. The flyby has begun. At 2:45 p.m., Orion's main windows had already rotated to face the moon. For the first time in this mission, the moon wasn't ahead of them, it was beside them, then below them, and now it occupies their entire window. The moon at 4,000 miles is a different object from the one you know. From Earth, you see a shiny silver disk. Up close, it's brown and gray and relentlessly textured. Mission Specialist Hansen described the far side as impossibly rugged. Every square kilometer has been struck, and then struck again. Craters containing craters. Ridgelines thrown up by ancient impacts. There is no weather on the moon. Nothing erodes or changes. The surface looks exactly as it did 3 billion years ago. The crew had 30 specific scientific targets to photograph during the flyby. Among them, the Oriental Basin, a multi-ring impact scar 600 miles wide, formed 3.8 billion years ago, one of the youngest large impact features on the moon. When that rock hit, complex life on Earth was still 3 billion years away. And the Hertzsprung Basin, 400 miles wide, similarly ancient, its floor resurfaced by lava flows that cooled into dark plains visible even from this altitude. They are the record of a solar system that spent its early billions of years in a period of bombardment so intense it reshaped every world in it, including ours. Between the major targets, Commander Reed Wiseman looked out the window at 2 small, unnamed craters on the far side. He suggested names for them, one called Integrity, after the spacecraft. The other he called Carol after his wife, Carol Taylor Wiseman, who passed in 2020. But he had no way to tell anyone on Earth what he had just done, because the signal was about to go silent. In the final minutes before 6:44 p.m., the conversation between the crew and Mission Control is steady and routine, involving system confirmations and procedure rundowns. But both sides know what's coming. The flight directors in Houston have described this moment going back to Apollo. One of them called it, plainly, depressing. Pilot Victor Glover says his last words before the line closes. "We will see you on the other side." For the next 40 minutes, all they can do is watch the clock. At 6:44 p.m. EDT, Orion's signal disappears from the Deep Space Network. Every antenna on Earth that was tracking the spacecraft receives nothing. Mission Control has no camera feed, no data stream, and no confirmation of anything happening inside the capsule. The room keeps running, people stay at their stations, but there's nothing to act on. The job for 40 minutes is to wait. Back inside the capsule, Orion has slipped behind the moon. Earth is not visible through any window because the moon has just eclipsed our entire home planet. reducing it from a blue disk to nothing, hidden behind the horizon of a world they're flying around at 2,000 miles per hour. The crew are as far from every other living person as it is physically possible right now, in 2026. No radio signal can reach them. No help can reach them. The four of them are the entirety of human presence in this part of the universe. Their task list during the blackout is deliberately light. The most demanding operations should only happen before and after the communications gap. So for 40 minutes, the crew monitors systems, stays ready, and has time that isn't fully consumed by procedure. Time to sit in this profound historical silence and just think. They look out the window at a landscape that has been turning slowly below them for the last hour and sit in the strangeness of their situation. At 7:02 p.m. EDT, while completely cut off from Earth, Orion reaches its closest approach to the Moon, 4,070 miles above the surface. Right below them is the far side, ancient and dark in its shadowed craters. Above them is open space in every direction. No atmosphere, no infrastructure. Right now, they are the most remote humans alive at the most remote moment of their mission. The Moon below them is not exactly a hostile place. It's indifferent in a way that is harder to reckon with than hostility. Nothing down there is aware of them at all. They continue flying above this rock of staggering geological age in a capsule that has been running for 5 days, talking to each other while Houston waits 250,000 miles away. At approximately 7:25 p.m. EDT, Orion clears the Moon's far limb. The Deep Space Network antennas have been holding their aim for 40 minutes, pointed at the exact trajectory the spacecraft was always going to take, waiting. The moment Orion clears the edge of the Moon, the signal returns. Mission Control hears the crew. There's no eruption at Mission Control. After 40 minutes of enforced silence, the voice coming through the comms loop is its own kind of relief. From the crew's side, hearing Houston isn't just the return of a voice, it's the return of context. For 40 minutes, they had everything inside the capsule and nothing outside it. The reappearance of Mission Control means the trajectory is confirmed good. The ground has been watching the orbital data. Earth is still there with all eyes on them. As Orion cleared the lunar limb, Earth rose above the Moon's edge. The crew had just witnessed an Earthrise and captured it in a picture. The first frame transmitted back to Mission Control after 40 minutes of silence was a crescent Earth hanging above a crescent Moon. Mission Specialist Christina Koch spoke first.
Houston, we have you the same, and it is so great to hear from Earth again. To Asia, Africa, and Oceania, we are looking back at you. We hear you can look up and see the Moon right now. We see you too. When we burned this burn towards the Moon, I said that we do not leave Earth, but we choose it. And that is true. We will explore, we will build ships, we will visit again. We will construct science outposts, we will drive rovers, we will do radio astronomy, we will found companies, we will bolster industry, we will inspire. But ultimately, we will always choose Earth. We will always choose each other.
Integrity from Earth, our single system, fragile and interconnected, we copy. Those of us that can are looking back.
We are happy to say we copy.
The spacecraft is coming back around to the near side now, the lunar surface below them becoming the side humanity knows. The Terminator line looks like a razor edge between lunar day and lunar night, cutting a crisp arc across the surface with shadows 100 meters long. At 8:35 p.m. EDT, roughly an hour after the blackout ends, Orion, the Moon, and the Sun converge into an alignment that produces something that has never been seen from this position before. The crew watches a total solar eclipse from outer space. Normally, a total solar eclipse is a logistical event. You wait for a narrow window and get 3 or 4 minutes of the corona before the Moon's shadow moves on. The corona, the Sun's outermost atmospheric layer, is only visible during those brief windows because the Sun's surface brightness usually drowns it out. But from Orion's position, the eclipse lasts nearly an hour. The Sun slides behind the Moon's rim, the way a ship disappears below the horizon. What fills the space around the Moon's silhouette is the corona, structured filaments of plasma field into streamers, loops, and rays. The Moon is in the center, black and absolute deep space behind it, and the corona surrounding it like a crown. Coronal structure changes with the solar cycle. Right now, approaching solar maximum, the corona is more symmetrical, more fully formed, like a halo rather than the elongated shape it takes during quieter periods. The crew is seeing it at one of the best possible times, from a vantage point no one has occupied before, with an unobstructed view that no expedition to Earth's surface could replicate. The flyby is over. Orion is heading home on a free return trajectory. The moon's gravity has already done its work, bending the spacecraft's path and sending it back toward Earth. Orion is falling in a curve, carrying 4 people toward a splashdown that is 4 days away. The moon, which has been the center of everything for the past 6 hours, is behind them. There's no passing scenery, but the slow diminishment of the moon as the distance grows. Tonight, step outside and look up. The moon will be where it always is, with the far side permanently hidden from Earth. You may never see the craters Orion flew over this evening, but somewhere in the shadow of the moon's far side, in a region that went unnamed for the entire history of us, there are now 2 craters with names: Integrity and Carol.